What's up everybody, my name is Marshyy, and in this guide I will be showing you how to unlock the titanium case, the 3x3 safe box in Arena Breakout Infinite. So if you want your rear end to be as large as mine is, here's what I learned along the way in my grind for unlocking this. So first, how do you get this? And is it permanent? The 3x3 safe box is not permanent. It is for the current season, but I thought this was worth going for because I unlocked it in October and this season goes through December. So for me, it's long enough to be worth it. And honestly, I just kind of enjoyed the mission grind of having like something to do in raid besides just make money. And I am by no means a sweaty, forbidden like streamer. I am a casual player and I was able to get this, which I was super pumped about, and it was a grind and I did learn stuff. So I thought I'd make this quick guide because I definitely messed up on some stuff that could have gone a lot faster. But yeah, I was just super pumped to be able to get this because the game I play the most other than this is Delta Force, and they do the same thing. Like they give you 3x3 if you complete all the seasonal missions. But in Delta, the seasons are quicker and the missions are harder, at least in my experience as someone who has tried both. So I do like that they, give you some stuff along the way and then they make it actually achievable. But it is a bit of a grind, so you kind of got to lock in for it and at least just be goal oriented with it is the first thing. Like if you try to unlock this passively just by like playing the map that you have the quest on, that's not enough. Like you do have to kind of grind for it. And that is the first tip, is like you try to align your maps. So like if you have farm,
if you're interested,
and you have farm at the same time, that's the whole goal. Like you want to just select farm and have two seasonal missions for farm. And the only way to do that is to like try to align these things as you go. And specifically the one at Armory where you have to kill 8 players, if you can line those two up. Yeah, so let's say you're on dark as night and all according to plan, and then you advance to tables turned and you're still on to all according to plan. You want to make sure to go to Valley and do this little, inspect type of mission. Get that done because the next two are both like eliminate 8 operators at Armory Periphery and Armory, which just means anything on the outside of Armory. If you have that one active and this one active at the same time, eliminate 8 operators at Armory Periphery and Armory, you will get progress for them at the same time. So that's my first piece of advice, is like specifically that one is the craziest one where you really want these two to be lined up. And then outside of that, the ones that take the longest are the collecting different things and then the finding the bosses. So it does end with some boss finding. So
you've really been a huge help to
eliminate 2 bosses in farm. The ones that are on farm and valley, you have 2 options. So you can just spam like the cheapest kits possible on normal and just run to the spots, run to villa, run to courtyard, and run to factory, try to find the boss. I do actually just recommend like spamming, almost knife runs. Make sure you have something that is able to shoot the boss. But I think if you're really trying to speed run it, and at least on Valley, if you don't want to run into like the sweats on Valley because there's no Forbidden Valley, I would just run it down on normal Valley trying to find the boss over and over. And the one that I think is probably the most annoying is the Northridge boss. The Northridge boss can spawn at cable car, hotel, and camp services. And I believe sewage as well. I don't know if I've even run into him at sewage, but I got extremely lucky, I will say. And my first Northridge lockdown raid, I was spawned somewhere on the north part of the map. I was like, I might as well check cable car. And I found Fred the boss on the first try. And I was just so happy because I understood how lucky I got. So if you wanted to do the farm one on lockdown, because lockdown farm is not as sweaty as lockdown valley, that's not a bad idea because it'll probably have a better spawn rate for the boss. For farm boss, I believe grain trade, motel, and stables. I believe they still spawn at stables, but I've been seeing the boss at small hall as well lately. So those are the spots you want to check. You can either run it down normal or lockdown, it's up to you. But biggest piece of advice is use your quick kits and just go in cheap, because you'll lose a ton of money if you're, you know, just like sprinting across the map to these boss locations over and over. But eventually these bosses will show up. Trust me, even a casual bot like me can do it. So that's my advice for that. And then the last thing is just the collect items missions. Now, the ones that are specifically for certain maps, let me see if I can pull one up here. Yes, get 10 purple or better miscellaneous military items from Armory. So specifically military items that are purple or better. Here's my learning on this. I play Lockdown. I don't play Forbidden normally. I was just, you know, bringing in good gear, trying to play my game on Lockdown and just play normally and hopefully find them along the way. And that is not what I recommend, because I would find one every like 4 raids or something, and it just was not efficient at all. So eventually I tried to just bring in a rat kit into Forbidden, just something that's worth barely 300k that gets you in, and just try to avoid PvP and loot. And then I like finished this quest instantly. It was so easy on Forbidden. There's so many more purples and golds of any type of item on Forbidden. That is how you do this one. And then the one that's like tools on Northridge, I believe. Yeah, 10 purple or better tools on Northridge. Same thing, just play Forbidden, run away from people. You will do this one way more quickly, and honestly, like, you'll risk a lot less gear because your kit is only worth 300k, just going with the minimum. It's not like you're running a good T4, T5 kit into Lockdown and dying with it and, you know, finding 1 or 2 tools here and there. Instead, it's like just do, I don't know, 5 Forbidden raids and find these tools, put as many as you can in your safe box, and then just extract a few times and you'll be good. It's just way more efficient, and I learned that one the hard way. And then lastly, there's this one that's like 30 gold items. Where's that one? So any of these ones like 30 flammable items, you can spam normal farm and run motel and put stuff in your safe boxes. And then, you know, look for the ones that are 1x1s if you can, like the matches and the lighters and the candles. That's one way to do it. Or you can just play the game normally and kind of do this passively if you want. Both options are totally valid. But if I was trying to speed run the 3x3, I would go for like farm normal straight to motel basement. Okay, and then lastly, there's this 20 gold items. And like, that sounds like a lot, sounds hard if you're a Lockdown enjoyer or a normal enjoyer. But again, just play Forbidden. Put on the minimum and bring a good backpack and avoid PvP. And this one will actually go super fast if you're able to survive a couple raids of just, you know, being a rat and looting. So yeah, that's the guide. Just play Forbidden for the, you know, higher tier loot things, even if Forbidden sounds a little scary to you like it does to me sometimes. And you will get those ones done fast that way. And, you know, the toughest part is like just getting the boss to show up for these ones. And that's okay. Like, it's just RNG. You do the best you can. And yes, the boss has a higher chance of spawning on like Lockdown and Forbidden, but the boss can spawn on normal. So if you want to run it in with a knife and pick up a scav gun and kill the boss on normal, you can try that as like a totally risk-free approach if you want. But what I was doing the most for the boss finding ones was quick kit and then buying the good endurance stim, putting it in my case, just popping it right away and then running to the hotspots. So that is how you can unlock the big dump truck 3x3. I gotta say, I love being able to like put a red and not lose my ammo. That's been the nicest part about it so far. And like having space for these self-reses is super nice. If this video was helpful, I encourage you to check out some of my other content. I do this series called the Realistic Series, where I just show my gameplay from the eyes of a casual, where I'm pumped when I win and I'm able to have enough of those good moments, but I also show all the pain and the struggle, and I analyze every single death so that we can all improve. So check that out if that sounds cool to you. And drop a like if this video helped you. Consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.